D'ailleurs, je vais essayer de renaître comme les pubs ici du Phoenix. À la fin, peut-être j'aurais aimé te chanter des trucs chouettes, mais à défaut de tes max, je reparte avec ma camionnette. Des petits trucs sur mon truc qui bougent sans pour autant qu'à la fin je devienne rouge. Toi-même, tu es, je suis en blanc et noir et je vous montre, mais sur la vidéo, je voudrais pas non plus passer pour blaireau, mais avant que ça devienne drôle, je m'amuse ici à faire des cas.
I recently stayed at the Hostel International d'Argentine in Paris, and let me tell you, it was less than ideal. The comforters were way too small and barely covered me at night. Mind you, I am a little bit bigger than some people. However, the rooms were always cold. The housekeeping staff would come in and open the windows even though it was November and chilly outside. The staff downstairs at the reception area was less than helpful. I thought I might have lost my cell phone charger, and I asked them about whether or not anybody had turned one in. They failed to mention that the vending machines actually sold them, so I was left worrying all day before I found out. They nickel and dime you. They try and charge you €2 every time you use a locker. You cannot use your own lock. You have to put €2 in and take the key out, and then when you want your stuff, you put the key back in. But then if you want to use the locker again, it costs you another €2. On top of that, you will have to pay for a towel separately if you don't bring your own. I brought my own little dish towel type thing. So when I took a shower, I was freezing cold getting out, trying to dry myself off with this little dish towel because I was trying to travel as light as possible. And it is definitely not a central location to downtown Paris. It did only cost me about $150 US for the entire week. So it is very cheap. However, you will end up spending a lot more money in Ubers if you don't learn to use the train because of the lack of centrality for the location of the hostel. I went to see the Mona Lisa in the Louvre, and trust me, it is nothing like what you might imagine. Quite busy, hard to get close and actually see the painting. Here it is from the videotape that I took. Here is what the McDonald's in Paris looked like. Quite classy, very different from the US. There were a few merry-go-rounds around the city of Paris. This one I recorded in Les Tuileries, a famous garden outside a palace deep inside Paris downtown.
I've always said all the rules are made for bending, and if I let my hair down, would that be such a crime? I wanna be consequence-free. I wanna be.
This is the Palace of Versailles. I missed the original tour I had booked to go see it and had to get another thanks to the awful traffic in downtown Paris. I recommend you definitely learn how to use the train if you're going to visit and avoid Ubers, taxis, or whatever if you
I've
can.
always said all the rules are made for bending, and if I let my hair down, would such a crime. I wanna be consequence free. I wanna be
he started coming down here. And even today, the new artists, they come down here because, of course, they want to check the acoustics. This is a very good place to do it for free. And also, it is a very good place to make money because they do rave parties down here.
We can only possibly see the tip of that ball over there. It's only the tip of that ball.
On Friday morning, I headed up to Normandy Beach from downtown Paris. They picked us up in the tour group that I decided to take, and they drove us all the way up north so we could see the place where D-Day occurred, as well as a memorial to the soldiers who died then, and a cemetery where they buried all the soldiers that did not get sent home after they died during D-Day. We were also taken to an orchard and farm where we were allowed to taste various types of cider during the Normandy tour.
Of alcohol, and there are 30 different varieties of apple inside my juice. All varieties are Normandy. The name is Antoinette. It's a very, very old varieties. Or young varieties like Gros Bois de Bayeux, Cartigny, Fréquin. All this apple, it's apple cider. You can take a glass. It's a little apple cider like this. Very little. My juice is organic, bio, without sugar, without conservator. Yes, cider.
The ball like that, please. No picture, please. Hello. Find the ball. Find the ball. Find the ball. No picture, I say. Stop the video, please.
After all the adventures in Paris and other parts of France, including a comedy show where I learned just what it was like to be a Parisian, or so they say, I ate at the most interesting sushi restaurant where the food was actually going by in a conveyor belt, and you just picked it off the conveyor belt if it looked tasty to you, and then at the end you went up to the cash register and paid.
canım. Uno spuno. Excuse me.